He's Mr. Southampton. I'm pretty sure, in fact, I know he wanted to stay. He's happy here. He's our captain, and I certainly love playing with him.
I'm Alex Crook. I'm at the JD store in Southampton with Saints defender Carl Walker-Peters. Carl, first of all, how do you assess your season so far?
It hasn't been the best start. We've been disappointed with a few results. Been a few really close ones which could have gone either way. But so far they haven't gone our way. So yeah, probably not the best start, but we're still confident.
Is that inevitable that you're going to have highs and lows? Because obviously the policy this summer was to recruit quite a few young players, untested in the Premier League. So I guess there are always going to be bumps in the road in that scenario.
Yeah, you've put it perfectly. We've got quite a young squad. I'm one of the more senior players now, at 25, which I never expected. But yeah, with such a young squad, sometimes there's going to be ups, sometimes there's going to be downs, and we need everyone to stick together, including the fans, and keep driving us on.
Have you found yourself being a sort of mentor to some of the youngsters that have come through, as you say, at the grand old age of 25?
Yeah, exactly. I've been speaking to a lot of the young players. It's something I've wanted to improve on, being a bit more vocal and putting my arm around people, because eventually I want to captain a side. So I need those qualities if I want to be a captain.
How's the mood in the dressing room?
Yeah, the mood's fine. Like I said, everyone's still confident. Everyone still believes in what we're doing. We just need to start to put the points on the board and put the performances together for 90 minutes.
And looking at some of the young players that you have recruited, obviously Gavin Bazunu has done really well so far. Lavia was going great guns in midfield before he was struck by injury. Which of those young players are you most excited about? Which do you think can really kick on and maybe go and play for their country and play in the Champions League?
They've all got a lot of quality. I think, that the better you perform, the higher your ceiling raises, really. So I think they've all got the quality to potentially play in the Champions League one day, and I think they all aspire to do so.
And on the subject of international football, obviously you had a little bit of a taste of it when you were called up by Gareth Southgate. You're probably a bit unfortunate that you were right back, because we seem to have quite a lot of those in the national side. But has that given you a thirst for more?
Yeah, definitely. I enjoyed my time. Won both games, so I was delighted with the trip. But like you said, the competition at right back and left back is unbelievable. We've got so many good players in those positions. So again, I need to focus on performing well for Southampton, and I trust if I'm outperforming people, I'll be selected.
Why is it that England have managed to produce so many top-class fullbacks all at the same time, do you think? What's the secret there?
No idea. No idea. It's, I think as time goes on, there's always these sort of situations, a bit like the England team with Lampard, Scholes, Gerrard, and so many other midfielders in that era. I just think it happens from time to time, and it's fullbacks at the moment, really.
Obviously, it's put a bit of spotlight on Trent Alexander-Arnold because he isn't playing regularly. He was left out of the last England squad, matchday squad. Do you think some of the criticism that's come his way has been a bit harsh? Is he someone that you look up to as a fellow right back?
I played with him a few times in the 21s, and I know his quality, and I mean he's shown it in the Premier League for the last 3-4 years now. People are always going to comment on your performances. I think as footballers we're used to it. I don't think it's affecting him, to be honest. I know his character, and I know he's just going to get on with things and keep trying to prove people wrong. And like I said previously, he's shown everyone how good he is. So I don't doubt him.
Talk to me about the weekend. There's probably not a more difficult team to face right now than Manchester City. I mean, how daunting a prospect is that, going up to the Etihad Stadium?
Believe it or not, I don't think they enjoy playing against us. Last season, both times in the Premier League, think we drew. Um, you know, I think it will be very tough. You know, they've obviously signed Erling Haaland. They've got their number 9 that they didn't have last season. But you know, we're gonna go there with full confidence. We're gonna put the plan together that we've worked on in training, and you know, try and win. Really, you know, we need a win. Um, and yeah, we're gonna go there and make sure we don't make it fun for them.
Do you have a plan as a defensive unit how you can stop Haaland? Not many teams have managed it so far this season. Bournemouth did.
It's not really something we've spoken about directly. You know, stopping Haaland. It's more stopping their whole team. You know, they're a force when they're all on their game. It's tough to stop them. So yeah, we've got to stop it at source. Really, we've got to stop it before it gets to Haaland. But yeah, you know, we've got a plan as a team, as a unit, and like I said, we'll try to implement it and try and get the win.
You're obviously a former teammate of Harry Kane, who's been sort of out on his own as the world-class number 9 in the Premier League in recent years. Do you think Haaland has already overtaken him, or do you think Kane might have something to say about that?
Nah, come on. I mean, Harry Kane's done it for how many years in the Premier League? I think Haaland's had an absolutely unbelievable start. You know, some of the stats I'm seeing, I think he's got 3 hat-tricks in 8 Premier League games already, which is just ridiculous. But, you know, Harry Kane's proven for God knows how many years now. You know, I don't think we can compare them just yet. But yeah, Haaland's definitely hungry to prove to people he's better than him. And Harry Kane will want to stay at the top. So, yeah, they'll have a good battle, I'm sure, for top goal scorer.
And you mentioned that Manchester City don't enjoy playing against you. You've already beaten Chelsea this season. You were probably a bit unfortunate in the Manchester United game as well. You've beaten Liverpool at St Mary's in the recent past. So is there something playing against these big sides that brings the best out of Southampton?
I think there's probably a lot less pressure on those games. You know, it's something that I'm trying to speak to the team about a bit more, that, you know, the games when we play Everton, when we play Villa, these are the games that we really need to focus on and really dominate and win those games, because when you play the top 6, it's so tough. And, you know, when you win those games, you almost want them to be bonus wins where you're adding to your tally. So yeah, it's maybe there's a bit less pressure, but we go into every game wanting to win. You know, whether it's a top 6 team, whether it's a relegation battle team, you know, we want to win them all. So I wouldn't say that as such, but yeah, maybe there's a bit less pressure.
And just the way you're talking there, you say you've spoken to the team. You've already admitted in this interview that you see yourself as a future captain. Are there any leaders that you've played with, or maybe that you looked up to as a child? Who are the sort of inspirational captains that have influenced your career?
I mean, when I was at Spurs, there was Hugo Lloris, and what interested me a lot, it's a bit like the role I've got now. You know, Prowsey's the captain, but at Spurs, you know, Harry Kane spoke a lot. You know, you'd almost look at Harry Kane as a captain as well. You know, Hugo always said a lot as well, but Harry Kane definitely made sure his voice was heard, which, you know, even if you're not the captain, you can still do that, and you can still, you know, give your opinion and give your views and give advice to people if needs be. So I'd say from being at Tottenham, that's something I took.
And on James Ward-Prowse, Mr. Southampton in all ways, was that the most important piece of business the club did, making sure they kept hold of him in the summer, because there was talk that maybe other clubs were casting admiring glances in his direction?
Definitely. Like you said, he's Mr. Southampton. I'm pretty sure, in fact, I know he wanted to stay. He's happy here. He's our captain, and I certainly love playing with him. So yeah, I think it was a great bit of business, and probably the most important bit of business.
I think Ronald Koeman once said about him, he's the type of guy that you would be happy for your daughter to bring home. I mean, he is just a great guy, isn't he? Do you see him as a future manager, maybe?
Yeah, he's really intelligent. He really understands the game, and he knows how to communicate with people. yeah, he definitely,
Yeah.
definitely could be a
You
manager.
see him as a manager. Yeah. And you see him as someone who should be on the plane for the World Cup as well.
I mean, yeah, that's not up to me. I mean, he shows his quality week in, week out, and if he continues to do that, he'll be in the squad, no doubt. Um, and I know it's something he really wants. He wants to achieve and wants to go and play in the World Cup. So, yeah, I have no doubts he'll be in that squad. He just has to keep doing what he's doing.
Because obviously he missed out at the European Championships. You get the sense that maybe that's fueled him to make sure that that doesn't happen again.
Yeah, like it would any player. I mean, even me not being selected, it's fueled me to wanna push myself even more and be better than all the other fullbacks that are currently being selected. So, yeah, definitely.